Before Jordan rookies, before Upper Deck holograms, the first real baseball card power move happened in 1959. It involved Ted Williams, a war hero, one of the greatest hitters of all time, and the only player big enough to challenge the Topps monopoly. This is the story of how Ted Williams stood up to the Topps empire and forced the hobby to pay attention. By the late 1950s, Topps controlled the baseball card world. They beat Bowman, then bought him out in 1956, and signed almost every player to exclusive deals. For most players, it was simple. Topps offered around $100, you signed, and that was that. But then there was Ted Williams, and Ted wasn't built to follow someone else's rules. Ted Williams, baseball icon, World War II and Korean War vet, and the last hitter to hit 400, did not appear in the Topps 1959 baseball card set. Why? He didn't like how Topps operated, or the money being offered. As Ted described it, one chewing gum company, Topps, had cornered all the ball players. They contacted each individual, who then signed an exclusive contract for $100. Ted wasn't signing away his image for pocket change, not when he knew his name carried a lot of clout. Then came Fleer, hungry, ambitious, and looking for an opening. Williams says, "Fleer came to me first. They said, if you'll sign with us, we'll give you $500. In the meantime, I'd already signed the Topps for $400. The bidding war began. Topps countered. We'll give you $1,000 for 2 years. Fleer matched, then raised. And as Ted tells it, I finally ended up with Fleer. 5 years for $12,500, $2,500 a year. And Ted knew it too. I am the greatest benefactor of a new company, Fleer, coming into the bubblegum business than any other athlete. This just wasn't a contract, it was leverage. And Fleer just didn't sign Ted Williams. They went all in. They printed an 80-card set dedicated entirely to him. The life of Ted Williams. One player, one product. This was a direct message to Topps. And kids loved it. And there was a twist. In the 80-card set devoted to Ted Williams, one card, number 68, Ted signs for 1959, never made full distribution. And why? The card showed Ted signing his contract with Bucky Harris, who was at the time tied up in an exclusive image rights deal with Topps. Fleer, sensing legal risk, quietly pulled the card from production. For collectors, card number 68 became a legend, an early ghost card, one of the first major scarcity stories in the hobby. And why did Ted choose Fleer? 3 good solid reasons. Number 1, money that respected his star power. 2, control over his own image. And lastly, center stage billing, not just card number 37. Williams wasn't a follower. He was a brand before brand was even a thing. And Topps was used to winning. They weren't used to losing a superstar, especially to a challenger. This was a real crack in the Topps empire since the Bowman incident. Bowman versus Topps was a business. Topps versus Ted was a power play versus corporate control. And the player won this battle. In 1960, Ted Williams' last card as an active player was his 1960 Fleer number 72. He retired at the end of that season, and because of his exclusive Fleer deal, he never returned to Topps as a current player. Topps eventually regained dominance in the broader hobby, but the message was clear and lasting. Players could fight for their value. Competition was good for the hobby. Exclusive deals could reshape the industry. Long before modern licensing battles, long before billion-dollar sports card companies fought for exclusives, Ted Williams proved one thing. A player with conviction can change the hobby. It wasn't just a contract, it was a message. My name, my image, my value. A power move decades ahead of its time. If you love forgotten hobby battles and cards with real history behind them, please consider liking and subscribing as we once again go beyond the cardboard.